One dude went too far with my kids. I'm super sensitive about all that.
He's talked a lot about a lot of people.
I would love to meet up with him. Just talk to him face to face.
Let's get started.
I'm going to one day.
But I will see you someday, or someday, these people will see you.
Gotta come up for here sometime, mother.
Finally, Tripoli hired an investigator and found them.
Come down, you piece. Think about my daughters, you scumbag.
He was out there for 10 hours, Tripoli. Tripoli's gonna kill him.
You're gonna come up for air, dog. You're gonna come up for air. You're gonna come up for air.
I thought I was gonna be in jail. Right now, I'm living a life in Riley. You know, I don't want to blow that for anybody, but for you, I would run you over with the car.
For any comedian who thinks they're going to threaten Mike Redbar with violence, here's my message to you. The videos will never stop.
If you're a fan of YouTube channels like Too Lazy to Try, Podcast Cringe, or Comedy Enforcement, then you've most likely heard of Redbar. Or at least you've heard the phrase, Redbar is watching. What you might not know is that those channels, they exist today because Redbar started this whole genre. Redbar's hours-long podcast consist of him reacting to comedians and their podcast, tearing apart their scandals, their grifts, hypocrisy, and basically any sign of unoriginality. He's been doing it for over 20 years. He's a former comedian and comedy club owner from Chicago, and he's fully embraced the role of comedy's biggest troll. Redbar's got a cult following. Hardcore comedy fans love him. Comedians? Not so much. Some, like Sam Tripoli, have taken his commentary very personally. Tripoli has openly expressed his anger towards Redbar, even going as far as to make some not-so-vague threats.
One dude went too far with my kids. I'm super sensitive about all that. So, you know, is Redbar gone before me? I don't know, dude. I would love to meet up with him. Just talk to him face to face. I'm going to one day. I don't care what he does. If he comes back, I don't care. Got to come up for here sometime, mother. I'm telling you, dude, he went too far. It's not cool. What he did, I'm going to f him up for it. I'm going to f up his wife, too. What he did was too far. And he's going to pay for it, dude. And every time he puts out a video, that's another minute of beating that guy gets. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. You got to come up for air. You're going to come up for air, dog. You're going to come up for air. You're gonna come up for air, dude.
Redbar's the ultimate comedy troll, and while it might seem like he's just out here hating on these guys, he's actually a legit comedy fan. You've got to be deep in the comedy world to look past all the surface level jokes and see the hypocrisy behind some of these comedians. If someone like Tripoli just brushed off Redbar's comments, the whole thing would probably blow over. But instead, when Tripoli fired back, that just poured gasoline on the fire.
Here it is. The guy was sitting in the front row. He heckled Sam. Sam chased him. It's very short, but watch this.
Redbar's watching! Redbar!
Whoa! Whoa!
Redbar is watching isn't just a catchphrase. It's a way for Redbar's fans to get in on the trolling. If you've ever scrolled through the comments on these commentary channels, you've probably seen it pop up. I usually get a couple of Redbar is watching comments on my videos too, so you can only imagine how many Tripoli is getting on his. Redbar's living rent-free in his head so much that Tripoli actually went off on a heckler just for mentioning it. To get that mad, you've got to wonder, what did Redbar say to set him off like that?
After about 5 minutes, Sam's comes back in, comes on stage and apologizes and says how Redbar joked about his kid. This is not true. This is not true. You could cut to me. This is not true. I sang about your kids. Anything goes in a song.
You might think Redbar crossed the line when he said what he did about Tripoli's kids, but you've got to remember, Redbar is just a persona. It's all performance art designed to get reactions from his audience. The biggest names in media do the same thing. Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson admitted in court that they do it. Think about FPS Russia. When the camera's on, he's a whole different character.
Maybe a lot of shrapnel.
Spoiler alert, he's not even Russian. Andy Kaufman is another perfect example. He made an entire generation hate him, but it was all part of an act. It was entertainment.
And it was a shining moment for behavioral science.
Tripoli getting that upset over Redbar's comments about his kids just shows how even comedians, who of all people should be the biggest champions of free speech, sometimes miss the point.
He's talked a lot about a lot of people. And finally, Tripoli hired an investigator and found them in Tucson hiding.
Mike, I'm gonna get ya, and you're gonna sing the song you sang about my daughters. I'm gonna get ya, you tough guy. Come down, you piece of shit. Sing about my daughters, you scumbag. You're gonna make it right. You're gonna sing the song in front of me.
Knocked on his condo. He was out there for 10 hours, Tripoli. Tripoli's gonna kill him. And the guy wouldn't come down. I give him credit for not calling the police, you know what I'm saying? Because a typical white privilege move is to call the police. I didn't do nothing. Yeah, I know you didn't. But here's the problem. When the cops do come, somebody's going to show them all the videos that you said and all the shit you talked about. And let me tell you something. It's not going to be a good day for you.
Joey Diaz has built a massive following over his 30 years in comedy, so if anyone should understand the importance of freedom of speech, it's him. He said that if the cops ever saw Redbar's videos, it wouldn't be a good day for him. There's nothing illegal about what Redbar is saying, and it's ironic too because Joey has spent time in jail for kidnapping, and he's even admitted to way worse stuff on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I had girls sucking my dick and giving me coke from Chewy. You think I'm fucking kidding you? Fuck yeah, you gotta suck my dick to get up in the belly room. I'll make a call for you. That's the fucking gateway into coming to Hollywood. Everybody knows that.
How many girls did you have do that?
Oh, 20 of them. I had this little blonde open mic chick dog that used to come up to the Comedy Store with a 20 and just take me up to the belly room and suck my dick and go do her set. She was tremendous.
Wow.
She finally freaked out. When she got to Hollywood, bro, she was beautiful. And when she left, she had dirty, her nails were dirty. And then a year later, she wrote me a letter to the Comedy Store. You sucker, you broke me.
So when you think about it, Redbar's just talking. Joey, he's got a real life record.
So they would say, hey, when can we buy some Xanax? You got to meet me at the broker.
Listen to this.
So I would make all of them would come up to me and go, what's wrong with you? I just paid $10 to get in here. You got to take that off the price of the pills. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. Oh. I had such a high profit margin. It didn't really matter. So I would sell Xanax to people.
Oh!
In the hundreds.
Oh,
20s,
in the
10s.
hundreds.
Cokeheads love those things. Oh. So what was I? I was a cokehead. I could eat 10 of those. Dog.
What does it do?
Knocks you out.
Like how?
Like you're going to pass out. You could die like that. When people OD, that's what they eat. Xanax.
And you sold that to people? So you've done attempted murders. This is a murderer.
I sold Xanax by the 100.
What does it do? Well, if you eat too much, it kills you.
While Tripoli's anger towards Redbar is all about the comments on his kids, Joey's got a different reason for wanting to come after him. That clip of Redbar's had Joey so heated, he launched into a 15-minute rant detailing exactly what's going to happen to Redbar.
When you least expect it one night, you're going to run out of that whiskey you drink and you're going to go to a liquor store, and there's going to be a guy there with a bat, and he's going to hit you across the head, maybe hit you across the legs, maybe hit you across the back. You're going to wake up with blood all over you and go to hospital, and you know how bad you're going to feel in that hospital after somebody hit you in the head with a bat and you got stitches, and God forbid if your wife is with him, because your wife had a good time on there too, laughing. Remember how they made Rogan be guilty for laughing at my joke? Your wife is guilty of laughter. So if she's with you, I'm sure they're going to bust her in the mouth too.
It's wild to think that someone like Joey, who's done far worse things in his life than just make a few comments, would get so worked up that he feels the need to spell out what might happen to Redbar if he crosses paths with the guy swinging a bat. Joey claims that Joe was guilty of laughing at his joke, but it wasn't a joke. He was basically admitting to selling stuff that ruins people's lives. At one point in the rant, he insists he's not even mad.
I don't even care about the guy.
But that's clearly not true.
If I ever bump into you, I will run you over in a car. You know I'm crazy. You guys know that at this age group, I belonged in jail, right? Like right now at this age, 59, I thought I was going to be in jail. Right now I'm living a life in Riley. You know, I don't want to blow that for anybody, but for you, I would run you over with the car. I'm not going to pay nobody to get you. There's no Malanucci brothers, but I will see you someday, or someday, these people will see you. Whether it's Dalia, whether it's Tripoli, and Tripoli means business. Tripoli means business, dog. You're going to have to get out of this one. He's got all these guys have the backing. You know, anybody from 10th Planet sees you, they're going to break an arm. You think about that, and you don't know what their name is. You don't know who. Some Mexican attacked me and broke my arm. You know, that's what's going to happen to you. Or if you don't want to get hit, if I was you, I'd take the punch to the head. You're going to take a punch, 5 stitches, maybe a broken rib, and then tell your daddy to pay You know, and you go back and you're out of the woods.
Once again, Joey's threats or suggested threats are exactly what Redbar is trying to provoke with his commentary. Comedians are supposed to be the last line of defense when it comes to freedom of speech.
Yeah, in the comedy world, we say we're the last line of defense.
So when they react this way to Redbar's comments, it highlights the sheer hypocrisy of who they are, both as comedians and people. Even though comedy fans look up to them and sometimes idolize them, the truth is they're not the kind of people we should be putting on a pedestal. In fact, whenever comedians like Joey lash out at Redbar for his comments, it just makes fans see beyond the veil of comedy, like pouring gasoline on the forest fire that is Redbar. Every reaction only fuels his following and his content even more.
Any comedian who thinks they're going to threaten Mike Redbar with violence. Here's my message to you. The videos will never stop. Joey Diaz and Sam Tripoli just bought themselves double the videos. I don't know what to tell you two crybabies. Shut up. We're going to make fun of you. If you go on TV, which is what you're doing, and act like nonsense guy, we are going to make fun of you. We're going to cover your antics. I'm going to do zoom ins to you. We're going to make fun of your kids, your family, everybody. And there's nothing you could do to ever stop that. You understand? There's still going to be these videos till the day I die, so you will have to kill me, which is not allowed. You're not allowed to kill me. You're not allowed to hurt me.
I didn't know that we weren't allowed to make fun of people all of a sudden, but it seems like that's their new rule.
Well, they're trying to tell us, Joey Diaz and Sam Tripoli are trying to tell me, Mike from Redbar, that I can't make fun of them. So they just bought themselves a world of hurt. And for the next year, and until I die, I'm going to be torturing you legally, metaphysically, and all on the up and up. There is literally nothing you could do about the videos. That's what they call what I do, the videos. The videos will never end. Capiche?
After clips like that, you'd think comedians would realize it's all just an act. But even the most seasoned podcasters in the game still don't seem to get it.
But all he does is just trash all our friends. Like, every comic we know.
Me, Santino.
Oh, Santino.
Hinchcliffe.
I think Santino's about to go there and just murder it.
Redban, of all people, should understand how fair use law works when it comes to commentary and reaction. Under the fair use law, you can use limited portions of a work, including quotes, for commentary and criticism. What Redbar is doing clearly falls under commentary and criticism. Redban must know this, especially since I've faced copyright claims for using clips from Kill Tony, but those were dropped because I followed fair use guidelines. Yet, Redban's company not only claimed Redbar's video, but also struck it, which is a much bigger deal. A strike can lead to your channel being removed if you rack up 3 of them.
Brian Redban of Death Squad. He didn't like what we were saying about him in a video, so we filed a copyright claim, got the video taken down, and then when we called his bluff, he folded and he released the claim, or he was forced to release the claim.
Here's how the copyright strikes and claims work on YouTube. If someone like Redban submits a strike because Redbar used their video, Redbar gets a notification. Less experienced YouTubers will just take the video down, fearing the consequences of a strike on their channel. But Redbar had the option to appeal the copyright claim since it falls under fair use. If Redban didn't back down and decided to keep the strike, he'd face consequences from YouTube for filing a false claim. So really, the original strike from Redban was just an underhanded attempt to silence Redbar, basically saying, Redban is watching. Redban! This just further exposes the hypocrisy of these so-called freedom of speech advocates. They're all for using others' content for reaction purposes, as long as it doesn't involve making fun of them or their friends.
Andrew Santino was caught asking his fans to, yes, report my video. Why? Look at this. Somebody sent this to him. Here's the screenshot. Somebody sends him the video, and he writes this. We know. Report it. That clown.
Santino has gained a reputation for trying to strike down anyone who posts videos that paint him in a negative light. Too Lazy to Try put out a video about the Bad Friends podcast featuring David Spade, and Santino didn't take too kindly to it. He had it copyright struck. Fortunately, Too Lazy has an incredible fan base and they flooded the comments section of the Bad Friends episode demanding that the strike be released. Initially, Too Lazy thought Bobby might be behind it since the video mostly criticized him. But we all know Bobby isn't the type to file copyright strikes. He's used to tons of content being made about him by these comedy commentary channels, so given what we know about Santino, it's likely he was the one behind the strike.
He was psychologically attacked by some online trolls that attacked Bad Friends.
Yes.
Listen to this.
Oh, okay.
And that's enough.
Put him in a mood.
Right.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Well, first, Andrew Santino put me in a mood. He's screaming and all that stuff.
The video Redbar made that Santino urged his fans to report highlighted the low effort that Bobby and Santino put into Bad Friends, particularly their podcast set. The set has always been a sore spot for Santino, especially when it gets criticized. But, as always, Redbar exposes him for who he truly is in this next clip. It's not cool when regular people call him out, but when Joe Rogan does it, suddenly he just sits there and takes it.
If you go to this week's episode, go to episode 3. And
what's with the shelf? Who's the designer?
This is half of the stuff we talk about it from our fans.
Well, who put that together?
The producer.
You have a producer that decorates?
No, we just told him to throw stuff on the wall.
Don't worry about it, Joe,
Just
don't
put up
worry.
some shit on the
Why
wall.
don't you put some stuff on the wall that represents what you like?
We're gonna. It's brand new. We just started the whole thing. We haven't done it yet. Also,
You need an American flag behind you. That should be what we all do now.
go to episode 3.
The more you watch Redbar, the more you appreciate the genius behind his work. He highlights that comedians we all love shouldn't be put on a pedestal. To me, it reveals Santino as an angry bully who can't handle criticism. If he had stood up to Joe, fans might have respected him more. But instead, like many comedians out there, he uses Joe and his platform for his own gain, willing to bend the knee as long as it benefits him.
Redbar, for some reason, dude, he's taking like minor shots at me, but I can tell he likes me.
Yeah.
But it, like literally, like time you see if your name shows up in like the liner notes for a thing, you're like, what is Redbar coming after me? I have comics all the time hit me up and like, does that guy like, does he hate me or something? And you're like, dude.
As straightforward as it is for Redbar's fans to grasp that he doesn't actually hate these comics and is simply playing a character, many comedians for some reason still don't get it. Of all the clips I've seen of comedians talking about Redbar, Luis Gomez seems to understand it best. Yet he still gets nervous when he spots a caption from Redbar featuring his name. The Legion of Skanks is probably the most offensive group of comedians there are. Yet for some reason, Redbar still manages to get under their skin.
I mean, comics got to be able to take a joke from time.
You hear that, Jeff?
I love that you have a Google alert set for Redbar, Louis J. Gomez.
Wow, he did.
But he would call.
You're not getting messages from his tens of listeners.
Zach.
He called. He got like
shots fired. Here we go.
Redbar stands as a unique figure in the comedy landscape, using his persona to challenge the very fabric of comedian culture. As viewers, we're reminded that comedians shouldn't be idolized. They're flawed individuals who, like all of us, are subject to scrutiny. So the next time you hear Redbar is watching, remember, it's not just a catchphrase, it's a call to critically engage with the comedy we consume.